Nakalagay kasi dito, any person arrested or detained under custodial investigation shall be allowed visits by conferences or any member of his immediate family or any medical doctor or priest or religious minister chosen by him or by any member of his immediate family or by his counsel. Okay, hindi ko nahabaan kasi nga ma'am, I'll follow your advice. Ma'am, may penalty po to. Ang penalty nito, any person who obstructs, prevents, or prohibits any lawyer, any member of the immediate family or person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation, or any medical doctor or priest or minister by his counsel or by his counsel from visiting and conferring privately chosen by him or by any member of his immediate family with him, or from examining and treating him. Ma'am, by his choice at any time, I'll go back to the title at saka dun sa nakalagay. Nakalagay dito, hindi lang custodial investigation basta arrest or detain. So he was arrested and detained. So even if magdebate tayo na custodial investigation ba yun o hindi, no? So ma'am, ang ano po dito, ang penalty is imprisonment of not less than 4 years nor more than 6 years and a fine of 4,000 pesos. So ang question ko, meron na bang report dito sa arrest at kinasuhan ba si General Torre? Last question, ma'am. Tuwing magpapa-aresto lately, parang ang pinaka-effective si General Torre, di ba? So nung pina-aresto si Pastor Kibuloy, grabe yung mga nangyari at ginawa, di ba? Nung pina-aresto po si President Duterte, yun naman pinag-uusapan natin, nakita naman natin. Nung nag-hearing po ako tungkol sa tulay na sa Isabela na gumiba, hindi po nag-a-attend si Secretary Bunoan. Sinabi ko lang, kailangan ko pa bang i-designate si General Torre para kunin si Secretary? The next time, nag-attend na siya. So ito, tanong ko ma'am, pag nag-issue tayo ng subpoena at hindi siya mag-attend at kinontempt natin, pwede bang ang utusang tungkulihin si General Torre ay si General Torre? Kasi effective, no?
Under Section 8D2 of the EO, any foreign person who's a citizen or ally of the U.S. that has not consented to ICC jurisdiction, o parang Pilipinas, over that person or state party is a protected person sa ilalim nung kay Presidente Trump. So ang Pilipinas hindi na state party. At yung executive, sinasabi naman na hindi talaga ICC ang may jurisdiction sa atin. Kaya gusto ko sana tanungin, si Presidente Duterte ba ay isa sa protected person sa ilalim ng executive order ni Presidente Trump? Non-NATO ally na former or current official. So gusto ko malaman kung si PRRD nga ay protected person sa ilalim ng executive order, sino ang mako-cover sa asset freeze under Section 1 ng executive order ni Presidente Trump? Pwede bang parusahan ang mga sumapi sa pag-aresto katulad ni General Torre? Anong mangyayari kina Garma at kina Leonardo? Kasi ang pagkaalam natin, yung iba sa kanila at yung pamilya nila ay nasa Amerika na. Sakop ba sila nung executive order ni Presidente Trump? So, yan ang mga katanungan natin kasi lumalawak na lumalawak itong pagsisiyasat natin. Umabot na sa US kung saan alam natin nagtatago sila. Kaya nag-aalala ako ano ba nangyari rito. So, paano yun? Gusto ko sana liwanag ng ating justice, pero wala sila, kaya justice lang po tayo. Pero importante po ito. Kakatuwa kasi kanina nabasa ko lang sa dyaryo, tamang-tama, na yung spokesman ng ICC, Dr. Fadi El Abdallah, sinabi that the surrender of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte of the ICC to the ICC was a decision entirely made by the Philippine government. And if there is any question about whether it was lawful or not, it will have to be submitted to the judges. So, mismo yung ICC sinabi na ang Pilipinas ang nag-surrender sa dating Pangulo.